Now, have you noticed any shift in the energy since Biden essentially became the nominee for the Democratic Party? Has there been, more people engaged, wanting to get out and support the down ballot races? Has there been less engagement because it's Biden and not Bernie? What are your thoughts on the Biden versus Bernie race and how it's impacted down ballot races like yourself?
It's both. It's really weird. So on the one hand, Bernie suspending his campaign yielded us a chunk of volunteers and some monthly donors that reallocated to down ballots when Bernie suspended. So on the one hand, we got a gain there. On the other hand, the progressive movement in general has been very, very stifled. There is a lot of defeatism. There are a lot of people that are just still licking their wounds and are just feeling like there's no point to any of this. So there have definitely been some casualties in the movement from that. I find that it is extremely partisan, generationally speaking, right down the middle as far as the Biden supporters. Obviously, our establishment, centrist Dem clubs are, go Joe, we're for Joe, all in for Joe. And that is to be expected, especially in a district like mine that is traditionally a Biden blue or a Hillary blue versus a Bernie blue. So there's no surprises here with that. And, I put it out there, like right now to me, he's still presumptive. I'm going to quote Nina, presumptive. And that is important right now. Now, when that's official, if and when that's an official thing, then I'll feel a lot more comfortable saying what I'm going to do. But I've already put a lot of thought into this, and I'm going to do what every other politician does, and I'm going to defer to my donors. So if Joe Biden becomes the nominee, I am going to put this out there to every one of I want to say we're almost at like 6,000 donors. And I'm going to say, I'm going to take a poll. Should I or should I not publicly support Joe Biden? Now, I have a gut feeling that the majority of my supporters would tell him to go take a hike. That's just what I strongly suspect. Mm-hmm. But as a politician, I'm just going to do what my donors tell me to do. And then as far as who I vote for personally, I say that that's nobody's business.
Yep, fair enough. I guess before we go here, what are some of the big issues that we didn't touch on in this discussion that you're fighting for your district and in your race in general?
Our district is a very, very prime example of the massive wealth and income inequality in this country in general. Our Broward County, Fort Lauderdale area is definitely on the higher end as far as the gap between the high and the low. So all of our policies essentially address that injustice. Everything about my campaign has to do with essentially that and fixing that and every different angle of that, whether it's social, environmental, criminal, economical, justice. This is about justice. And there's a lot of different ways to go about it, and people want to sit around and we can nitpick and debate different policies and all of that, and that's fine. And this is one of the cool things about the Andrew Yang endorsement that I just got, which I really take a lot of pride in that. And I have a lot of respect for Andrew. And it really shows you that he and I do not agree on everything. We just don't. We probably never will. But the beautiful thing is that when people are willing to recognize science and reason, it's amazing, and not take corporate money and be bought off. It's amazing what kind of conclusions and solutions you can come to. And that's what we're about. We are not about any one exact thing. I mean, yes, single payer healthcare yesterday. There are certain things that are non-negotiable. But when you really get down to how these are going to be implemented, I think it's really important. You listen to experts. You listen to people who know what they're talking about and not the companies that are bribing you. I think that when we do that, I think we'd be amazed at what we could accomplish.
Awesome. Well, let people know where they can find you and donate and support your campaign.
Absolutely. So we need money, but what we really need are volunteers on the phones, and people can sign up at jen2020.com. You can donate at jen2020.com. We ask for $23 for District 23. And especially now that we're in the fourth quarter, please consider being a monthly donor. And, we need that. We need people following us on social media. I'm at JenFL23 on Twitter and Instagram, and we're at Jen 2020 on Facebook. We have a live stream tonight. I'm going to be talking with a local community activist who's a friend of mine about criminal justice reform. And, there's just a lot of things that I'm bringing on experts every week. I had an expert on nuclear energy come on last week and talk about things we can do there. I just want to use this platform to learn as much as I can and educate as much as I can. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to have a civilization,
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'll have links to all that stuff below the video in the description box. Jen, thanks again for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for what you do, my Canadian friend.
No problem.